Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another review of another Dolph Lundgren film, and this time it is Pentathlon. And I know I have friends and I know people who are a fan of this movie. I am not, I'm sorry. I'm a big Dolph Lundgren fan. The same time he did Men of War, I think that's a great movie. Men of War is one of his most underrated films. This film, not so much. I just found it dull, I found it boring, there's not much action. It's a pretty silly idea, silly plot. And I honestly think I love Dolph, but I think this is one of his weakest performances. Because the plot, he's an East German Olympic gold medalist in the pentathlon. When he was a kid, he was fucked with by this coach played by David Soul of Starsky and Hutch fame. And as he's grown up, he's getting to Olympics in 1988, the Summer Olympics in Seoul. And the coach wants him to do this drug, and he's like, no, I don't want to do it, so he gives it to another guy, which that guy ends up having pretty much a fucking heart attack or whatever, while Dolph wins the gold. But because of the abusive nature of his coach, he wants to defect and go to the U.S. So he does. By doing that, a friend of his is killed while he's running away, and then he gets to the Americans. The Americans help him out. Dolph's character gets shot in the leg. Also, Dolph meets this American woman. I think she was part of the team, and because of the wound on his leg and things don't go right at all, so him and her break up, and then it's years later. The coach is still smarting about that. And I'm thinking, really? Why? Okay, you're a coach. You have other fucking athletes on your fucking team. You have other fucking athletes. You're mad that he just left to go to the U.S. But he just has this weird behavior, David So's character. He is mine. He is mine. I think he even kills Dolph's father. The reason I keep saying I think is because this film fucking left my brain. It was like sometime after I watched the film. That's how much of an impression it made on me. Almost to the point where fucking David Soul's character, I'm like, were you having sex with Dolph Lundgren's character and he's cheating on you? Like, what? This fucking behavior is like a stalker. I want his blonde hair. I want to fuck him. I want him to be me. So, because he becomes a neo-Nazi terrorist. Yes, the coach of this, the Olympics becomes a neo-Nazi terrorist. Meanwhile, Dolph Lundgren at this point, he is at a diner, working at a diner with Roger E. Mosley, who was in Magnum P.I. with Tom Selleck. And the guy finds out Dolph used to be on the Olympic team. Roger E. Mosley's like, hey, let's get you back on the saddle. Let's get you working out again. We'll work on your leg. Dolph's doing better. Dolph even is getting into it. Has even a fencing match with his former girlfriend's new douchebag boyfriend. He wins. Dolph and the girl are getting back together. And it pretty much leads to the coach wanting Dolph Lundgren so badly, even though he's with this group of people of neo-Nazis that want to fuck up this peace rally and assassinate some rabbi. Nope, I need to have Dolph there because I'm pissed at him for what he did like 8 years ago. Or 6 years ago. I'm trying to remember, 6 or 8. I forget how many years later it's been. I wonder if 6 is, that was 88, this came out in 94. But I thought it said 8 years as well. Maybe because it's the new set of the Olympics. That's why they sit a little bit further ahead. But this movie doesn't have much action if you're going into it for that. The little bits of action, Dolph punches a couple people. There's a fencing match he gets with a guy, and then kicks the guy through this glass door. When Dolph sees the assassin with like a fucking rocket launcher, Dolph, one of the pentathlon things was the shooting. He uses that to shoot and blow up the guy. Yes, I don't know, if you shoot the fucking weapon, a bazooka, it just blows up the guy. But, you know, action movies, you take a leap of faith with logic. Usually I'm fine with that. But yeah, give me more to work with the movie. And Dolph, this is one of his weakest performances, being this East German guy with this accent. When he had a Russian accent in Rocky IV or Red Scorpion, I was fine with it. The Russian Specialist, which I'll get to. I'm fine with that. But as an East German, I don't know if it's the way he was directed, this is what he was told what to do. But he tells like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, before he defects, he borrows an American jacket and wants to see the American lady. Do you like my jacket? Do you like my jacket? Do I look American to you? Do I sound American to you? No. Yes, I do. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't. That's why I wouldn't play fucking East German, because I wouldn't know how to fuck to do the accent. And, like, it just sounds ridiculous coming from Dolph. I don't know what you're doing. It doesn't work for Dolph, in my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. To me, it didn't work. This is fucking... It just didn't work for me. And so he stops the assassination. It's sometime later, like weeks later, he's triumphant. And the Olympic pentathlon finals, David Soul just walks out there with a gun, like willy-nilly. Dolph's girlfriend grabs the guy, Dolph tackles him, and then shoots David Soul in self-defense. And then the movie ends. And this is directed by Bruce Malmuth. I have reviewed 2 of this guy's movies in the past. When I did my Sylvester Stallone marathon, where I reviewed all of Stallone's movies, I reviewed Nighthawks. That was directed by Bruce Malmuth. That's a good movie. Nighthawks, I enjoy. When I did my Steven Seagal marathon, I reviewed all of Steven Seagal's films. That and more on this channel in playlists. I reviewed Hard to Kill. That's another film Bruce Malmuth directed. I like Hard to Kill. Is it silly? Sure. Seagal coming out of a coma and escaping. But it was fun. It was entertaining. I will let things go if you entertain me. This film was not entertaining. Now I'm getting fucking hiccups. My body's rejecting the film. As I'm talking about, my body's shutting down. It's just... And you know, you have certain websites, I disagree with them. They give like a 3.5 out of 5. If it's what actually you're looking for, then the movie isn't for you. But if you're willing to watch Dolph try something very different, then it's definitely worth a look. As someone else gave it 3 out of 5. So if you're a fan of cheesy 80s, 90s action curiosities, you'll probably find yourself buying into this film like I did. But if your mind ever strays, you realize you're watching the ridiculous trash that it is. I just go with ridiculous trash. I never use that word cheesy. I hate the fucking word cheesy. Maybe that's why. This movie is just very boring. And I usually, even films I don't like, I can go, well, I like Dolph in it. I don't even like Dolph in the film because of the fucking weird German East German accent he's trying to do. I don't think he does it well. Which I know is weird to say since... But maybe he's going too over the top. Maybe that's what it was. It was just too much. Too overdone of a performance with the accent. David So, he's chewing the scenery as the villain to the point of like, you sure you just... Again, it's like a slighted lover. You are my lover. You don't get to fuck her, you fuck me. I was waiting for that to fucking come up in dialogue. The music I don't remember a thing about. I'm trying to think of like other action sequences. There's not much. Oh, there's a scene on a beach, which was silly, because the assassin's riding a bicycle, a fucking bicycle, going right towards Dolph. So Dolph sees him because he's right in front of him. Even though he has a gun, I guess, even though the bad guy has a gun, he thinks of it as a knife, so he has to get this close to Dolph to begin shooting. It's not a knife, buddy. You have a gun. Wide range is a possibility. And thankfully, I think the villain also had like a bicycle helmet. It just looks silly with this little bicycle might be a fucking tricycle shooting at Dolph. Dolph kicks the bike, the guy flies up, and he loses his gun in the sand. The sand's only like this fucking high. Where's my gun? Maybe it got lost in your ass. Like this movie belongs. Because it stinks. It's what it stings. I probably would say this is one of... If I did a top 10 worst Dolph Lundgren films, this might be on there. Because it's really... Even ones I don't like. Okay, I'll get to this film. Blackjack. I don't like this film. Because it's disappointing considering it's directed by John Woo. But Dolph is not the problem in the film. It has a couple of really damn good action scenes, especially in the opening, like in the first 15 minutes. But there's a lot of problems in the film. That's why it's a film I don't like. But there's a couple stuff going for it. I'm not a big fan of this one, Detention. Because the kids I found to be annoying, the villains are pretty lame. There should have been a lot more bad guys. I'll get more into this. But there's a couple decent moments, pieces of action. Cars driving around inside the school. Dolph and the student create this like device with stuff in the front, and they impale a bad guy with it. Like a little death machine they made in the tool shop. There's some fun bits of that nature. Here, this is not one thing I really care for. Even the action scenes are very forgettable, generic at best, very few and far in between. If you like Pentathlon, that's fine. You can feel free to let me know why. I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. I just will disagree. I think this is... Of Dolph's early films, like his first... Let's say his first 10 movies, I would say this is up there with Cover Up as being some of his worst early films. I mean, I'm not a fan of Masters of the Universe, but I'd rather watch that than this. You know, I love that movie, love Showdown Low Tokyo, love Universal Soldier, love like The Punisher and Red Scorpion, Army of One, which I don't know, I think they came, yeah. I haven't reviewed it yet. You may have seen it because it'll be uploaded before this, because I'm doing some of these out of order, just whenever I get a chance to review them and then set them aside, build up, so you guys don't have to wait too long between videos. But I think Army 1 came out before this, and Army 1 I thought was pretty damn good. Which by the time you see this, you'll see my review of that. Men of War, which I'll review after this, that came out the same year as this. Men of War. I'll get to that next time. Men of War, criminally underrated. Even, I'm not a fan of Hidden Assassin. But even I would put that above this, because that one, there's a couple decent moments of cinematography, and Dolph's not that bad in the film, and but I like Dolph as an actor as well as a martial artist, but and an action star. I keep hammering that home with a sledgehammer, but even Dolph isn't that good in this film. Like, why did it have to be East German? Why can't it just be... Oh, well, the point of it is because he has to defect to the U.S. That's why. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger. That would have been a better role for Schwarzenegger than Dolph. Jesse Arnold, hell, he does German in a steep plan. I don't like a steep plan, but that part I didn't mind, and I could buy Arnold speaking German. Like, he seems like he'd be more comfortable with that than Dolph. But hey, what do I know? But and I was mentioning the plot is silly. Yeah, you go from a pentathlon Olympic medalist guy and the coach, and then the coach is a neo-Nazi terrorist. And Dolph has to battle using his fencing skills. And if you don't go stupid, go over the top, crazy stupid. But this film kind of seemed like it was it thought it was a serious movie. Like more of a drama thriller than an action film, and it failed on the drama and the thrills. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, not a fan of Pentathlon. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.